In this lesson, we will learn about a NPN transistor and a PNP transistor. First of all, I will explain you how the transistor works. An NPN transistor turns on when the base voltage is at least 0.7 volt higher than the emitter voltage. Currently the emitter voltage is 0 and the base voltage is 5. So which is 5 volt higher than the emitter voltage. The base voltage is 5 volt higher than the emitter voltage, so it is at least 0.7 volt higher than the emitter voltage. So we are expecting that transistor to turn on, and if the transistor turn on, then the current will flow to the R1 and the LED 1 will turn on as well. Let's learn about the PNP transistor. The PNP transistor is slightly different than the NPN transistor. In this case, the emitter voltage has to be at least 0.7 volt higher than the base voltage. So in this case, the base voltage is 5 volt and the emitter voltage is 5 volt. So there is no any voltage difference between them. So therefore the transistor won't turn on, it will remain off. The LED will remain off and no current will flow through this resistor. So let's do the simulation to verify my answer. As you can see, this transistor turns on, therefore the LED is on, and the PNP transistor remains off, therefore the LED is off. Now we will change this voltage. Let's say we want 4.3 volt. So if this one is 4.3 volt and the emitter voltage is 5 volt, that shows it is 0.7 volt. The emitter voltage is 0.7 volt higher than the base voltage. So now we are expecting the transistor to turn on, so the LED will turn on as well and the current will flow through the resistor too. If we change this voltage, say only 0.7 volt, still we will expect the transistor to turn on and LED will turn on and current will flow through this resistor. Let's do the simulation again. didn't work now. The resistor R1 is 270, R2 is 70. We were expecting the LED2 to turn on. Let's change this voltage again. Now the resistor, the R2 is still same, current flows through this transistor. As you can see, is the voltage difference between this the emitter and the base is more than 0.7 volt. Since the transistor didn't turn on before, since there is a voltage drop across the R2 resistor. So even though we thought the difference between the emitter and the base was 0.7 volt, actually it wasn't. It wasn't 5 volt on the emitter before. Even now it's not 5 volt. It's less than 5 volt. So I can show you what's the voltage right now. Let's get a voltmeter. We need to copy this voltmeter. For some reason I can't copy the voltmeter now. Let's do again. Yeah, it's working now. Let's see the voltage. Let's do the simulation again. As you can see, the voltage across the transistor is 1.44 volt, and the voltage between the back of the LED and the collector is 3.61 volt. Therefore the transistor didn't turn on. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something new. Thank you very much for your time. Please subscribe.